Welcome to Vlogmas day 13, and yes, it's Friday the 13th, and yes, I'm up early. It's 10 to 5. I've been up a little while and I've just uploaded Vlogmas day 12. I know they're running maybe the next day, it depends. Obviously, getting it sorted out and what I'm doing that day. But I'm getting an early start today. I don't know how interesting you would have found yesterday's video. It was an Christmas organisation video. I had a lot to do yesterday. I filmed pieces that I did. It was one of those days, as I commented, I had to do a number of things to get back to my original plan, which was to sort out the games room. Usually I'm a little bit more organised than this, but I lost a lot of time during November due to feeling unwell and cough and colds and everything. So it did sort of put me out a bit. So a lot of pieces are running late, but I'm near enough back on track. Tonight is the deadline to get my home organised. I'm nearly there. I've just got a few more tweaking bits to do in the games room. I have got to do a little bit more organising in my craft cubby, which I'm hoping to get done. And maybe going out later because we need a new deep fat fryer, and because it is quite cold, actually our heating normally comes on about 5:15. It's 61 at the moment, but what I did was I have got my door closed because I say everybody else is in bed. I did have my sleeping bag there with my pillows and my laptop there, so I'm going through comments as well. Obviously I can't make too much noise because of family members in bed. This is what I mean by having this box here that has a blanket and sleeping bag in, just for times like this. So I don't want to put the heating on, although we can put it on for like plus 1 hour or whatever. It's just that family members will then get too warm upstairs. So I'm very pleased how my wrapping station is working, and I'll be sharing some of my wrapping with you very shortly. So the first part of today I will be staying home. Hubby finishes early today, so we can get on more than likely pop out, all being well, later. So hopefully we'll take you along with us then. So I'm going to finish doing a few pieces. I've still got to go through one of my main cupboards that I use as a pantry as well. So I'm not sure if that's going to be on the cards today, but as I said, if I can get the games room finished and possibly my cubby and go out, then I'm going to be a happy bunny. I was really pleased what I got done yesterday. As I said, I did have a lot of bags where I've done hauls or Christmas gifts that I needed to organise, and they're now in boxes in the upstairs cupboard, which is what I wanted to do. So I'm going to leave it here. In a few minutes I'm going to put the kettle on and make some drinks, and I'm going to get on. I did go to bed. I was in bed for 9:30 last night and I fell asleep straight away. I was the first one actually in bed. I'm normally the last one up and the first. I'm usually the last one in bed and the first one up in the mornings. That's what I meant to say. And has been raining this morning. Is still. I have opened the curtains. It's pitch dark, as it would be this time of morning. But I am a morning person, so I'm going to get on. I also need to sort out the Christmas books and DVDs. Right, this is the double cupboard, and the biggest cupboard I really have. That is actually below our breakfast bar, and this is where I actually store most of the non-perishable foods. At the moment it's mostly set up as a general every day-to-day use. I do have those red baskets, like I said, and that's where I store, you know, the extra bits for Christmas. So at the top I do have canisters, and I'm going to arch forward so I'm sitting on the floor, and I have containers. I just use my label marker to list them, and I've got spaghetti at the back, pasta. I haven't got any rice at the moment, when most we've been having pasta. Long life milk, excuse me, we have a lot of that, especially for the caravan as emergencies and everything, and I've got 2 of those, and I do like that one. That one's from Tesco's. I also have extra sugar. I've got cocoa powder there. I've got powdered sweetener back there. I've got plain and self-raising flour, caster sugar, icing sugar, and I've got my dried fruit here, raisins here, which are seedless. That's to do with the rock cakes that I'm hoping to be doing very shortly. I've just got to restock my self-raising flour containers and plain. Then this side is, as I said, most of this is baking, and in this one, I'm just going to lift this one down so I can show you. This one is where I keep all my cutters for cookie making, and I've got quite a few Christmas ones in there. So that's the cutters. I'll keep that there. And then these, I've got 3 in here at the moment because I rejiggled this a little while ago, and this has really worked out well. When I actually got rid of so many mugs, cups and crockery beginning of this year, I repurposed these metal shelves that I got from IKEA and put them in here, just so that things are not piled on top of one another and it's easy to get bits and pieces out. So continuing with the baking line, I've got this one here, and that's got all my cupcakes liners in. Now some of these I've got, I think, from Poundland, and some I've purchased from Wilko's, but I think these are actually from Poundland. And I've got this one here that has actually got all my Christmas cupcakes liners. Again, they've remained in there since last Christmas, so they're all ready to go. And I've just got some Halloween ones that I got after Halloween from B&M that are well in date. Underneath, in this one, I have got like all the plasticky, rubbery containers. So that's like the cups and saucers for cupcakes. I've got ones for little cakes or for chocolates, hearts ones. And I've got some more heart ones down the bottom there, and then I've just put this heart cutter in there, as most of those are used, you know, for anniversaries or Valentine's Day, or these are, I've used these before, like for a tea party. And then the last one is ones where I've collected them, and they are new ones, all in their packaging. So I do like making these little mini ones, especially for a granddaughter. I think they're so sweet, and every time I see some nice cupcakes, that's when I get them. And I do like these. I get them out one-handed. I do like those, they're pretty. So, and a lot of times I do sort of buy things again after the season, and I do like all the little cupcake stands. You can have little cup cardboard covers and you have the little stands and things. So that's those. So that is like my baking thing. I had thought about putting them all in nice jars, and I know it looks nice, and I probably have got room to do it. Maybe sometime this year I will do that. I have all my canned goods down that way. Yes, I have a lot of soups, because I do this time of year like soup at lunchtime. It's warming, it's filling, and that way I don't tend to snack, especially when I'm on my own. Now I have that container there because usually I've got to get my ready break, because this time of year I do like ready break. I don't tend to buy many big boxes of cereal now. I like to go for the individuals. These are good for at home, for guest visitors, and also you get a selection. So I tend to have these here and the caravan. So there's a selection, and there's not any wastage that way, and most of these are just nice, because if we do have you know, full breakfast like when we're in the caravan, we tend to have like cereal, toast, and sometimes, you know, if we've got time, sausage and bacon, that sort of thing. My family very often don't have breakfast anyway. They more likely have this for supper. This one has got to be restocked. This is our granddaughter's bit. I need to get her some pom bears, but it's got her juice in that one. And then in that one, I've got some more of that seasoning that we like for the potatoes. I keep sauces in there, any packets, and I've got a spare vinegar at the back there. This container has all the extra. I can show you. It's quite heavy actually. That has all the extra coffees in to restock my coffee station. So I think that's about it. I try not clutter it up too much, and then I just got a biscuit tin under there. I tend to not try and have too many biscuits in again, so I'm not tempted to eat what I shouldn't do. So that is the cupboard, and I'll just quickly show you how I'm storing the start of our Christmas food stash. So here's just one more close-up of my little food pantry and how I store all my baking supplies. As I said, this has worked well. I did this earlier on in the year, and this really does seem to work. As I said, at one stage I think for next year I might continue with some canisters, you know, some glass ones for my baking goods, and then tin stuff down there. So like I said, I'll show you how I store the extra pieces for Christmas. Right, so this is the other side of the breakfast bar going into the dining room. What I tend to do also is, you know, because I'm doing my food shopping and everything and doing my list, that's why they're out. Sometimes if we're not needing the dining room table, as I said before, there's some chairs that go back against the wall. Sometimes these boxes do actually get put under the table, under the other chairs that are not used, so they're out the way. So that one at the moment is empty. Very often that will be full of, you know, the squirty creams and everything. So in this one, I've got the start of what is for Christmas dinner, because hubby's cooking the Christmas dinner. So we've got the stuff in there, gravy, we've got the cranberry sauce in there, the herbs, potato seasoning, and then we've got the goose fat for the roast potatoes. So that's everything non-perishable, sort of for the Christmas dinner. Goes in that one. And then in the larger one, as I said, I've only just started filling these up. I haven't actually wrapped those up. I normally wrap them straight up, but I've hid them in here and usually outside out of mind, and started getting the savoury things in. We have used actually quite a lot of the savoury stuff, mince pies and everything, that I've got to now restock because we've actually had visitors, so they're back on my list to get some more. But it's just the extra pieces I put separate so they're not used, because there's nothing like getting your stuff in off your list and then thinking, I'll just break into that, or I'll replace that, and then you forget. So this is all separate, ready for Christmas. And I just find I've done this again for a number of years. I keep saying that a lot of these things I've got in place now is what I've used over the years, and it works for me. If you have any ideas or how you store all your extra goods over Christmas, unless of course you're going somewhere else visiting, please let me know. But I say this is what works for me. I do keep certain things separate, so I say they're not broken into. Do excuse any footage of my kitchen floor, that is next on my list. But I'm not sure about this weekend due to the fact that we are out a lot. But I am going to concentrate on cleaning the house now. I've pretty much got my house back on track and organised. I have done my laundry, I've had my washing machine going, I've had my tumble dryer going, I've done my 30-minute tidy up, and I've also done my 5 to 10 item pickup as well. So I will be going out shortly with Hobby, because Hobby will be finishing work very shortly, so that we can go and get a few pieces that are on my list. Alright, we have just got back from going to a couple of stores because there's a couple of bits we needed. So we went to, first of all, we went to the Western Favell Shopping Centre, and then we went to a retail park. The first item we needed to get was Norton, and we got this from Currys. This is the 5 devices. It actually has the bonus, which includes Norton utilities. Now, Hubby had looked online for this and it came up as $16.99. When we went into Currys, they didn't have this one out on show. They had the Norton 5 devices for $19.99. And when he queried it and there was none out, we did get the assistant to check, and he did eventually find one, and they hadn't put these out. So just a little bit of warning, do check if you see something online and it's cheaper that's in the store, do query it. So this would have been, I think Hubby said something like $59.99. It was either $49.99 or $59.99, and we paid $16.99 for 5 devices. So that covers my son's PC and the 4 laptops, so within the family. So good deal. So just a word of warning, and say it was a lot cheaper than what it was there. Not sure if this was the last one, but he took it out of a locked cabinet, but he didn't put any more out, so I don't know about that. So luckily we did query it and stuck to our guns about that. Else Hubby was not going to pay the full price and try and get it somewhere else or online and get it delivered to the store. Right, so that is Norton. It's always between Christmas and New Year that we know it has to be put on. The other item we went for was a deep fat fryer. Now, we looked in Tesco's and it was £23. Wilko's was 25, And this one was from Curry's and it was $19.99. So again, we haven't replaced our deep fat fryer in absolute years. We were thinking about getting the one where it uses practically no oil to little, but we have been having chips done in the oven and hubby doesn't like them. He really doesn't. I don't know if anybody can say how nice the chips are done in those ones where you don't either use any fat or very little. So we've gone back to the deep fat fryer and say it was only $19.99. So we'll see about the next one. I know those other type are supposed to be a lot more healthier. So yeah, so that is the deep fat fryer and we're happy that we got that. It's been now since, I think, beginning of September since I've been frying chips in a deep fat fryer, and hubby's had enough. I was trying to be healthy and do them all in the oven. That's why we've been having a lot of other potato products rather than chips, trying to get a bit more healthy, but we shall see. We're looking into that one anyway. Right, then we went to Poundland. Now, it's not very exciting Poundland haul because I went in for specific things. I had a list, and except for possibly 2 items, everything came off my list. The first thing is we got the Cheetos, which is basically what's it. These are the flaming hot flavour, so 8 packets for £1, and it has actually come out this one, and we've got the plain one. So for 8 packets each, I thought that was really good. Then we got the Walker's 24 meaty pack. They were £3, which is a good offer. It's basically the sort of price. I'll just put that down because of the rustle. Basically, that's the same sort of price that I normally pay Iceland anyway. We're trying to hold off because I'm due to do a really big Iceland shop, Christmas food shop and everything. So we're waiting because we're trying to do it near enough in, well, not one go, but over a couple of days. So I've got my lists and my menus sorted. So I'm getting my other lists ready for Christmas for what we need food-wise. Right. We got the apple orchard. This is actually the bigger one. This is the 1,290 mils, and this was £2. As I said, I do like my fairy. It's usually one thing that I do actually stick to, name brands. Couldn't get the spray can, but this should be the same. We got a spray of the de-icer. As I said, I bought 2 cans, was it last week? And yes, with all the major frosts, and both my son and hubby, you know, not so much hubby in the mornings because the car is in the garage, but my son definitely scraped the car in the morning, sometimes have to scrape it at night. So obviously we're getting through the de-icer. We've had some really major frosts the last couple of weeks. Yeah, my light's just dimmed now. Got Aquafresh Daily Mouthwash, Fresh Mint. This is the larger bottle. They did have smaller bottles, but this was the 500ml for the same price as some of the others. So we've got that one because we got through quite a bit and we needed to replace it. Hubby and my son preferred the gel, and we've had this quite a lot. As I said, this is the True Shave Sensitive, and both my son and hubby said this is fine. They don't like the foam, they prefer the gel, as I've mentioned before. Not sure if I've had this mate before or not. This is the Christmas Yule Log. So yeah, I've got that in. Whether we try it beforehand, I don't know, or keep it up. It's well in date, so I don't know. This one's more of a spongy, and with the ice and sugar, I know I have bought in the past the ones that actually are covered in chocolate as well, and I know my family do like those, but this is a little, I would say this is the, if you could call it a healthier option than the full chocolate log. Yes, again, I brew thin, 3 boxes for £1, because both hubby and my son have been taking these to work, so we needed to restock those. We have got wheelie bins, but I wanted some fairly decent large sacks, because there's certain things that I needed going back up in the loft, like my case that I use backwards and forwards to the caravan, and also my large cool bag, because I do store them in the loft through the winter, but I like to cover them in a sack and seal it all up, so I need to do that so they can go back up in the loft. I needed some kitchen foil, not a lot I can say about that. Needed some icing bags. Hubby went for these. Normally I get the disposable actual icing pack. Hubby uses these especially for putting the buttercream between the skin on the actual turkey. He makes his own a buttery sauce that goes, I say, in the skin and everything, and he needed a icing bag to be able to put it under the skin. Got 2 bubble baths. I've got plenty of different shower creams and everything. So this is a limited edition. This is the Imperial Leather one, and it's that one. Not sure if I've had this before or not. And then I've got the Carex one. This is a sensitive bath soak. So that's those. And this is a stocking filler, because my family do like cartoony animation, and I needed one. And this is actually ordinary Blu-ray, and it's 3D as well. This is Asterix, the Mansions of the Gods. Don't think we've seen it. I haven't, I know that. So I just wanted that as a stocking filler. This and the chocolate log were the only things not on my list. So for £3 over, did really well. And what it was, I think I ripped it off actually. Yes. I don't know, I presume this is all over across the country, I don't know. We had a Poundland leaflet come through the door about 2 days ago, and it is, if you spend £15, you get a £3 off voucher. And I can't remember when it expired, but I just took it off and used it today. My shopping originally came to about £20, but obviously I got £3 off. I did want to, because there was a couple of things on here that I was interested in, so I might have to wait. One of the items, I'll just show you, we haven't had the leaflet, but we just went in. I say hubby's been to work, so we wanted to be fairly quick. We got what we wanted, that was the main thing. But I love the idea of this travel cup with the earmuffs. I think that's £2. That would be a nice gift. Again, I didn't actually have a look, and I have actually got the socks before, where it says all I got for Xmas are these socks type thing. So yeah, they've got, I say, I do like looking through the leaflets and seeing what the deals are. I've noticed also, because I say I did video one below the other week, but I've also noticed Poundland's prices are varying, because they've got some things that are reduced down to like 75p, some £1, some 3, 5 and 10. So yeah, and also I have seen this before, the like the Cadbury, is it Cadbury's? I think it's Cadbury's, yeah, the mug, and you get the cookies, and that's £3. So very often, especially if they come through the door, in the past, family members, my fault as well, seeing the leaflet, sometimes I flick through it and then it'll go straight in the recycle bin without actually looking. So very often we have actually missed some of the offers that are actually at the back, and I know we've had them before and I've missed out, so I made sure I used that voucher. We did get one for Tesco's, which expires, and I presume this is all across the country again. We didn't use it because I didn't get my deep fat fryer actually from Tesco's, and that was, if you have got them, is the if you spend £50 you get £10 off, and that is I think up till Thursday next week, the 19th, and then there's certain amounts off every time you spend so much, but that's the big one I believe, and that's the first one, £50, and you get £10 off, so you shall never come down to 40. So there is a few things I've got my eye on, so I might go back before Thursday into Tesco's with my list and see whether it's worth actually doing the shopping, some of my shopping there. So that concludes this shop. I haven't done an awful lot today. I was hoping to get more done. I'm in the process of sorting my kitchen out, and I just left it, so it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I'm not going to say goodbye as yet. I'm going to see whether I actually finish my kitchen so I can include pieces of that on this video as well. Right, so this is my drink station, and we are coffee lovers. That is my sort of little treat, especially this time of year. I do like to try all the different coffees, and I do have some favourites. Hubby just made us cafeteria coffee. That's got to be washed out, but what I normally does is I have that in like that. That goes in there. So I've got everything contained, and yeah, I've got my Costa ceramic travel cup there. We do like this. We started having this last year, and this is the gingerbread lattes for the Tassimo, and find that B&M are really reasonable for these, and these are absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I've got to try and get is, I couldn't get them last year, but to get the little biscuit gingerbread men. But I think, according to Vicky Mouse's channel, I think she got them from Sainsbury's. I always used to get them from Tesco's. And as I say, we have got Tassimo there. That is actually the second one we got. Our kettle. We have the ones that are new, the pods at the moment at the back there. We actually got the holder from Amazon. That was a treat a couple of years ago. I do use a little pottery glass container just to put my sweetness in. I've got the Father Christmas bottom bit here, which has a selection of different coffees in, and I've got some more in my main food cupboard, so I can restock. So the ones that I am liking, as I said, being diabetic I have to be careful, but this is my sort of treat, and I do like some of these lovely coffees. And the best thing is about some of these, I don't have to put sweeteners in. So one of them is vanilla. I've got 2 of each at the moment. Another one is the toffee nut. And one of my absolute favourite is the caramelised honey. And they're all by Nescafe. And I do have Nescafe coffee as well, which is in the tin. So I've got the sugar coffee and tea just there for, dare I say, normal drinkers. And so I've got all those. We've just restocked our Costa container here. This is for the cafeteria, and we do have a couple of hot chocolates back there. Now, excuse me, I haven't got all the marshmallows. I do get squirty cream to add to hot chocolate and things like that. Excuse me. But my family are not keen on the little marshmallows, but I probably will get some in if other guests want them with the hot chocolates. That's due to the fact that, again, I keep saying this, I am diabetic, so I have to watch what I eat and drink. I do like this. This is my sort of treat, but I tend to forego the marshmallows and things like that just to keep the sugar levels down. So that is all my coffees, and I shall put those back and just quickly show you again my little drink station. And this is what I bought from the charity shop from Bernardo's for £1.50, just to clear out all my bits. And again, lifting it up, it's easier than to wipe down the surface.